Welcome back to part 2 of Superman 2025 Superman, the new Superman, directed by James Superman, starring Superman. This is the spoiler section because we've done the non-spoilers. That's 20 minutes. It's like the old days. Remember we used to do this? It's good. It's a great way to spin out the little bit of grist that we have. This is the spoiler section. We're going to get into it now. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch this. If you don't want to be spoiled, if you don't care, crack on and enjoy it with us. Leave a comment and a like. We both liked the film. Duncan, I think, a bit more than me, but I did enjoy it. We talked about the technicals and stuff. So I suppose really this is just to talk about the plot and everything in detail.
Verde Broadcasting.
I'll go first.
I have issues.
Oh, no. I
do. No. I want you to go first. I'm just saying I have issues that I couldn't address in the non-spoiler stuff, so that I will bring up here. But please do go ahead.
I just wanted to go straight with the first, what I consider the hand grenade of the film, which I really liked. The hand grenade of the film. The hand grenade of the film being Kryptonians are evil.
Well, it's not 100% that they are, though, is it? Because it could still be that was doctored. It's never fully.
They do kind of. Yeah, there's room to walk that back, but they do explicitly say it's not doctored. But
Mr. Terrific says that,
but you're like Earth people. You don't know.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Terrific says like, oh, a bunch of people analyze it. And it's, do you know what it is? The Basil exposition just like, don't think about it too much. And you all have fun too. It's just like, no, it's not doctored. Get on with it. I think there's perhaps room later to retcon that. But I really like it as a thing. It's very unusual. But I
think if it went either way for me, I'd say it was still... I think I quite like it. It's a bit redundant having Bradley Cooper there, but I'm assuming that's a Guardians thing.
Yeah, I just think it's a him and James Gunn thing.
Yeah.
I like how they made the Kryptonian language sound a bit Greek because it gave it that kind of mythological feeling. I'm like the Kryptonians kind of, I'm being reductive for the sake of content, but like the Kryptonians being evil to me, I really liked because then the point of Superman always has been he could be General Zod, but he's not because he had nice parents on Earth. And the Kents made him who he is. Like, the Kryptonians made his body, but the humans made his soul. And he just happened to be raised by just the right people. Like, because, you could be General Zod, you could be any of the bad Kryptonians, but he's not. And he chooses to lead a kind and ethical life. And it really reinforces that. And also it's a great... because the whole thing is he gets kind of publicly shamed and cancelled, I suppose, because they leak that he's listened to half the message from his parents his whole life that says, "Hey, be Superman, that'd be great." And then the second half of the message that he hasn't heard is like, "Go stomp on babies," essentially.
Well, it's like be Superman so you can conquer them and start a horror.
It's like, way to bury the fucking lead, Jor-El. Jesus Christ. Start with, hey, man, you're all about hope and being lovely, so fucking crush them. Like,
and by hope and lovely, we mean destroying and conquering.
Yeah, have a harem and stuff. So, like, that was the big, I think that's the only really big kind of change to the mythology.
I mean, I think because it's, again, that's so much part of his arc, and like we said, because it starts off with him being rescued, and then they play him the message that helps calm him down. He likes to sit there and listen to it because he thinks that's his purpose, but then it transpires it's not the purpose he was given. He chose a purpose, and he even attributes that to Ma and Pa Kent. But Pa Kent says to him, "No, we just give you the tools. You go and figure out what you're supposed to do, and you can fuck up, you can do whatever." So it's lovely at the end when he's lying there and he's watching home videos. It's so...
Because if you haven't seen it and you're just like in the spoiler bath with us, what he does, like Duncan said, when he's injured, the robots play him the footage of Jor-El and Lara like telling him to be Superman, and the message is incomplete. And what he does is they say, play him can you play the video of my parents? And at the end, he says that again. You kind of go, oh, but then it's just all Kent family home movies, and it's very sweet.
Yeah.
And the scene with his dad, fucking hell, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so lovely. I also like, it's the first time, to my mind, that the Kents have been played as kind of dumb sounding hillbillies.
like shit kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because instead of being kind of all kind of, yeah, it is perfect. Because instead of being all kind of like, they're usually all kind of like wise and folksy, aren't
Well,
they? It's
it's
kind of, well, Clark, you
Kevin
gotta know
Costner
what to do in the place with the
Diane
stuff.
Lane. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas this one's like, hey, Clark.
Yeah. Well, in the trailers, I was like, they made her sound like, because you do hear a bit from his dad, but he sounds like he's on death's door in the trailer. But like in the and then his mum's like, I'll get your boots for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh God, what have they done to her? And then it's actually like, no, she's a really complex, like interesting character.
In context, those characters are so good.
Yeah.
And like there's a real focus on the fact that they raised him right. It's so lovely. And what I liked about it, and it's what I want from Superman. And keeping in mind, like, I'm a fucking Judge Dredd fan, right? I like horrible, grimy, violent cunts, like in my fiction. But that's not what I come to Superman for, and it never has been. And he's like, there's a bit where Lois goes to like the Justice Gang, and they're like, he's Clark Kent, right? And she's like, does he tell everyone?
Yeah.
Because he's so trusting. There's a bit, and they do a bunch of this just to say, by the way, this isn't Man of Steel. There's a bit where he saves the squirrel.
Saves the dog.
Saves the dog. Like there's really detailed things of him.
Stops the kaiju from going into the building, which I loved, because I was like, I realised as well, I haven't actually seen Superman save people from much destruction for a long time. It was like weird seeing him like get in front of something and try and stop it, and it was just like,
oh, what are you, Duncan? Some kind of pussy? Like, live in the real world, yeah? It's Superman. Because Superman Returns is not great, but there's that bit all the rubble's going to fall on the people, and he flies under and kind of vaporizes it, because he's Superman. And this has loads of Superman stuff, because he's sweet and a bit naive. And that's what I liked about him interfering in like a global conflict. So I didn't do it for America, I did it for me. And she's like, yeah, but it's not that simple, because it's kind of a simplistic morality versus a complex situation.
Absolutely. The kaiju fight is one. That's one. I saw someone complain, because I was trying to. While I was cooking dinner and everything, I was trying to watch things, reviews on it and stuff. But I saw someone complaining about the kaiju thing. Like, they were like, "Oh, yeah, it's like what? It just let it out and it's small, and then the next it's really big, and it's like, how's that explained?" It's like, it's a kaiju. Like, why do you?
It's
why
a cartoon
does it matter?
monster in a Superman film.
And when they're all fighting it, and Mr. Terrific just chucks a load of bombs down its neck and blows its stomach up, and he's like, was that necessary?
Yeah.
It's like, there has to be a better way than that.
And then he's like, we could send it to a cosmic zoo, or we could have euthanized it painlessly.
More humanely.
Yeah, because he's not against necessarily killing it if he has to, but he realizes it's a mindless beast and therefore should be treated with some kind of dignity. Like, and then Cosmic Zoo is very, very much feels like the Grant Morrison end of Superman, or a lot of the like I say, Silver Age. When he just references a Cosmic Zoo, this version of Superman is because he's been to a Cosmic Zoo. Like that to me is what that is.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love all that. I love all that.
Perfect. That's what Superman
and him
should be.
Like. When he falls off when they've just revived him or whatever with the sun, he falls off the table and he goes, golly. And then he gets up and he's saying stuff like that all the time.
And he's
it's kind
just
of like
gosh as well. He's got this lovely kind of, wholesome farm boyness to him. That's Do you know what's interesting? I remember, that when we first saw the thing of him tying his boots up and there's a thing in the background, you were like, well, why is he ignoring the thing? Like, that feels like, well, Superman would ignore the thing. And I was like, he's not ignoring the thing. He's getting ready to fight it. You were right. He was ignoring the thing. But in context, it makes like... Yeah. You were totally right.
It's a joke. It's a gag, though. I mean, I think the only problem with that thing is it's over what... it didn't bother me, but I could see it bothering some people because tonally, you're laughing at the thing in the background, but you're also being asked to take seriously their conversation. I think the nice thing about it is that putting that comedic situation in there gives, I don't want to just be in a room with those two having philosophical issues. Actually, it was nice to have the sort of romantic stuff and all that stuff going on and you can just see this big green bat. It's like a donk, donk, donk. They're trying to take it out. He's like, oh, it's just a whatever imp. They've got it. Don't worry.
I think that what works about that for me was, it grounded it because Metropolis is just like that. So they're not in danger as long as the Justice Gang are there. Nobody wants him out in public right now. So, and he knows if he had to be out there, he would, and it kind of grounds it so they can get on and have their kind of tricky conversation. about like.
I liked it. I would just say, that I suppose you could say that about it, but yeah, there's loads of scenes as well when there's lots of destruction going on, and they're just sat in the Daily Planet, or it just cuts to them not being particularly
just
bothered,
chilling, because
it's just like, oh, this is just what happened.
I really like their version of Miss Teschmacher. I thought she was so funny. She was really good. I don't know who she is, but that actor, but she was so funny in it. Like,
it plays into the running gag thing that I was talking about. That there's a running gag that Jimmy Olsen is like catnip to women, and it's never explained. Like it doesn't make any sense. Right. And then like Lois at one point goes like, "That woman's into." No, she goes, "What did she say? Oh, what did she say?"
She says she's hot. Like, you're hot. Go tell your hot girlfriend. And he's like, "She's hot."
He goes, "She's hot." Yeah, he goes, "Hot." It's like, what? Like, so she played up as being totally ugly, and he's like,
and also at the end they imply that he likes her back, which is good, because I think that would have just been quite cruel. Because there's James Gunn's film Super with Rainn Wilson. Have you seen that?
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah.
I do not like that film. I think that film is mean spirited and kind of cruel, and I don't. So like when it looked like she was just going to be a bit of a punching bag, I was kind of like, oh, but I really like her. She's really sweet, and actually she's done like Miss Teschmacher does. It's a version of like she's actually secretly doing something really smart because she's taking selfies in front of all of the.
That's another Superman the movie callback. The thing of whatever it's Plugistan or whatever made up name it is.
Fakistan,
and it's like Fakistan, and it's made up, and it's like the division between it and Lex is going to have, and it's like the map is the exact same design as Gene Hackman's.
I like how it's still ultimately yet another Lex Luthor
land grab,
yeah, but dressed up in so much sci-fi crazy. Like he's made a pocket dimension and stuff.
Yeah. No, I love all that. And it's like, that's one of those things where you go like, it's just there. Like right at the start, Ultraman or whatever.
Yeah, Ultraman,
He's in his suit or whatever, and he just walks through a portal, and you're just going to go, all right, got to go with that, haven't I? And
here's something that, here are some criticisms that I can talk about in Spoiler Town. And I don't know if this is just because I'm a Superman fan, and I don't know if you felt the same. But Ultraman is, in the comics, Ultraman is the kind of evil Superman counterpart from a different dimension, like the negative dimension with the evil kind of version of the Justice League. It's like a book called JLA Earth 2 by Morrison and Quigley. It's very good. It's about that. So that's the kind of comic version of Ultraman. Fine, cool. I'm not bothered that this isn't that. He's dressed a bit like Doomsday, right? When Doomsday first emerges with the goggles and stuff. A bit like Doomsday before all the stuff comes off. There's all this speculation online about like, oh, who is Ultraman really? And as soon as the Fortress of Solitude door opened to him, I went, well, it's a clone of Superman then.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the film, 2 hours later, it's like, he's a clone of Superman. Yeah. I know. Like, I don't know if that's just because I'm like a Superman fan, but they already say that only his DNA opens a door, and 3 people walked in and one of them's wearing a mask, can fly, and has laser vision. Like, I'm not. And you can't even really argue that it's meant for kids because it's a 12A. So I'm a little bit, in terms of that plotting, and also the thing when Eve does all the selfies, and it takes the characters ages to work out that she's actually taking pictures of all the stuff. Because as soon as she was like, I've got stuff, before we even saw it, she's like, I've got stuff to send. I was like, oh, well, it's her selfies then, isn't it? Because she's always been there, like, meh. And I was like, and it was, is it just me? But it was like this plot revelation, more so the Ultraman thing was just like, well, yeah, it's a claim.
I suppose because Lex Luthor talks about having an enhanced people, and he says about how he made the engineer, and he made, and he does all this stuff, and there's all this talk about people, they inject people with other stuff like, and that kind of thing. And I suppose what you could think, oh, he's got Kryptonian DNA in him, but you don't know that he's a clone, which is a Superman 4 reference because he's cloned him from hair, hasn't he? He found a strand of Superman's hair.
And there's
which is sort of
the Death and Return of Superman has cloned Superman stuff, and clone Superman's been done, and it's great and everything.
It's Bizarro as well.
Because I was like, maybe it's going to be Bizarro. It was one of my things, but like
he could come back as that if he survives. I mean, I know he went into.
I kind of wonder because he goes into the black hole, he could go and be evil Superman in another dimension, and they could do that type of thing. I'm not bothered that it's not, because I really like, because it's Ultraman and Owlman and like the evil Justice League version. I really like those characters. I like those. So, like, those versions are really cool. Like Ultraman's supposed to be an astronaut from Earth who gets his power from kryptonite, right? And they run their world like gangsters, is the thing.
Right.
And I always dug that. But I'm not bothered at all that this wasn't that. I'm fine with it, But equally, it was treated as this big revelation. I was like, I figured that out like, as soon as you did it. Which I can live with, honestly. But it just felt like... And this is what I mean about it being a bit kind of messy and not having a lot of gravy for me. Something like that could have been way more interesting as a reveal. I don't really think
there's certain things as well that I think could have used just another revision, and it's that, like Ultraman, for example, like just gets, it's like Luthor's playing Battleship in his ear, and he's going like A5, like B set, and then you're going like, wouldn't it be like you didn't do that with any of the other ones? Why didn't you, like the what's her name, the engineer and stuff like that? It's like, she gets to do what she wants. Why did you purposefully engineer him like thick or something so he couldn't?
Yeah, because he does say he's not as smart, doesn't he? Like,
and then there's a bit like the bit at the start when she's coming up to so they've lured him back to Metropolis with a fight with Ultraman, but Ultraman's dressed up as
the Hammer of Baravia.
Baravia, that's it. And she's out looking for the fortress, and then she sees it either come out or it's going away or whatever. So she suddenly gets a jetpack and flies over to it. It's like, why didn't you use that before? Like, she was walking. Like, why are you walking if you just conjure a jetpack out of your ass? Like, what? Yeah. There's lots of things like that where I was a bit like, if you just thought of, there's a lot of things which are kind of like, this seems needlessly hamstrung for reveals or for, but again,
I mean, in the bigger picture, I just think I'm just kind of happy to be there because there's this like really lovely version of Superman at the heart of it. I think the heart of it, the romance in it, the stuff with his parents, I thought was really lovely. I just thought him being portrayed as kind of pure is to me what Superman really should be. So I was kind of so into all that. It's just feels a bit weak in places. So.
Yeah, no, I get that. I was a bit worried that they would do what they did with Man of Steel with the flying and stuff, where it's kind of, I used to call it fart flying because I'm juvenile, but it's that's what I'm like, just disappears.
We're all
like
friends
a massive fart. And and it's deeply unsatisfying. There were in fact that bit when they're having the conversation in the apartment with the big eyeball in the background or whatever, and then he flies out the window, and they did that thing where they stay on Lois and the curtains blow, and it's like that just always seemed cheap to me. It's like the Lois and Clark TV show. He'd just jump and grab his cape and jump out of frame, and you
listen. You listen here.
Yeah, if you're doing that in your mega blockbuster, and it's like, come on, like show him fly. Yeah. But I thought they actually handled it because a lot in the trailers as well. There was that kind of like in the face, like they did with the not Shazam, Black Adam, and the Guardians 3.
Yeah,
that thing where it's like, what is that, a fisheye lens or whatever it is? Where they're like,
well, that's the thing that makes his face makes Corin's face look weird.
Yeah,
but there's loads of that fisheye kind of wanna stuff in this.
Yeah,
kind of
but then there are other really great shots of it. I suppose the only thing is you don't spend a lot of time. But then I'm probably thinking romantically about sort of Superman, the Chris Reeve stuff, where it was kind of like you flew a lot with him, and you kind of, and I do think that's important for the character. But I think. He is it's nice that they in the midst of all this stuff that's going on, they still make it a point to like make his character shine through and give him an arc, and what other spoilers can we talk about? I'm trying to think.
Lex Luthor has a pocket dimension.
With
Metamorphose in there, yeah. That's why, like, again, wacky Silver Age madness, like Metamorphose. I'm sure a bunch of the prisoners are probably characters from DC shit. James Gunn loves a space mega prison, it seems.
Yes,
I do like it's full tilt ahead with the Lex Luthor shit. I was always really happy that they cast Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I've got a real. It's not just because I'm bald, but like, I've got a real thing for Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is one of my favorite villains. I like Lex more than I like the Joker. Like Lex is way cooler.
Right.
And there's so many good like versions of Lex. Like we both like the Clancy Brown one.
Very much.
Even like Michael Rosenbaum and stuff. And there's so many good Lexes, and I love Lex and Nicholas Hoult. I was just like, yeah. Bang, he looks like him. Like we've already seen him as a skinhead in another film. Like he's going to be a bit of a psycho. That's what I was going to say. I don't think I needed to see a man being shot in the head in a Superman film.
Is that the dark? Yeah. I know what you mean. And And then it's immediately followed by a joke.
Yeah.
A very dark joke.
It's an innocent man being shot in the head. Like,
yeah.
Mom, a
Yeah.
man just died. Like, it's the kind of Nazi
Yeah.
communist. It's UNICEF pennies. I found that very jarring. It was quite mean. I think because I like James Gunn, but he's got like a mean streak, and I think that comes from his kind of trauma days. And I just found it mean. It's like this poor man getting shot, like this poor man begging for his life for getting shot in the head, and in other words. And the point is, Superman's powers. I get the dramatic meaning behind it. I see its thematic importance and everything, but I found it quite jarring. It was quite it was nasty, you know. And that to me, I found. Yeah, just I don't know. I just want to get away from the Man of Steel of it all, I guess. But like, I found that a bit nasty.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the function of it was to show, you know, the kind of because I think he's doing it and he's trying to get him to give up. Well, he wants him to give up Clark Kent ultimately, doesn't he?
And it's great. He's kind of like, that report you speak to, and it's kind of like, you dumb shit. You
know? yeah. But ultimately, it serves as a plot device to get Metamorpho to side with Superman and break out, right? So
yeah.
No, I mean, it was dark, and then it's the baby, and then of course Krypto is probably worth discussing.
That's the very much the Groot of apart from the other Groot, which is Metamorpho's baby, but like like Krypto very much the Groot. They're going to sell a lot. I
knew as well that
he
was Supergirl's dog. Like I knew that.
Well, I think that's I think that's the canon thing, isn't it? That the dog is Supergirl's dog.
I think so.
Or at least the horse. People don't talk about the Wonder Horse nearly as much, but the Kryptonian horse that was in love with Supergirl. But anyway, I think that's a thing with that's quite funny when that felt like a fucking Rick and Morty bit when she came in all like.
She turned up at the end, yeah. She's like a pisshead.
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
Yeah, that's unusual, but fine.
Yeah.
I think So I think one of the important things, which is something that comes up in Superman comics a lot, and I think it's in like Red Sun, where Superman's just kind of like, what's the point in Lex Luthor? Like, what's the point? And I think that there's other comics where it's kind of like, you have these gifts, and look what you've done with them. Because the whole point in because Batman and Joker is kind of like order versus chaos, but like to me, like Lex and Superman is always about how you use your gifts. Like Lex is immensely gifted in a lot of ways, and he's opposite in so many ways because he's got all the money, he's got all the power, he's vastly intelligent. There are versions of him where he kind of weight trains because he's jealous and stuff. He has all these gifts, and a lot of Superman stuff is like, you could use this for the betterment of humanity. And the frustrating thing is, you think you are using it for the betterment of humanity because you want to use it to kill Superman because he's an alien. And
well, there's that thing at the end that he does that. He has that monologue, doesn't he? Because he talks about how I am human, and that's my greatest strength. And he goes, and the thing is, it's yours as well. You just don't see it.
Yeah.
You know.
There you go.
Yeah.
And the film deploys it really well. The point is, he has all these gifts, and look, he's just kind of twisted, and he's used them wrongly and for the wrong thing. And if he could just get out of his own way, he could make real change. But he's just obsessed with being a jealous prick. And they do the thing of, when the Hulk gets Loki in the end of Avengers, they do that, don't they? Like
do that Krypto, Well, Krypto is the kind of he's a punctuation thing. Like, because very often there's some sort of scene that just like he just gets straight into it.
Yeah,
it's like, wait, no, like he's supposed to save him from the black hole, isn't he? And he just starts licking the baby's face. And it's like
that bit at the end as well, like when Supergirl takes him, they're just kind of like, well, that's the problem, isn't it? There's no discipline.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So that I think I would. So I really like Nicholas Hoult is someone I really like anyway. I thought that portrayal of Lex was great. Like giving him a kind of big, I didn't really like him shooting a poor food vendor in the head, but him doing it with kind of a long old fashioned revolver feels very Lex to me. Like,
you could argue that he didn't think it, because he does say like that happened quicker than I thought.
Roulette thing, yeah.
And it's like, well, he might have been thinking, oh, I'll break Superman before.
It seemed like it's going to happen the second time. Like, yeah. So the point being that they've both been given gifts at birth, and it's how they've chosen to use those gifts that have defined them. And I think that's something that's again, I think Superman and Lex are way more interesting about Batman Joker. That's for me, bald pride, whatever. However, I will say that as much as I love Lex and I love this portrayal, he's basically just there to shout. It felt like.
Well, that's what I was going to say. his motivation does get very unclear because it's basically like he's trying to engineer a. It's Israel Palestine, isn't it? Come on, let's just be fucking obvious. It's obvious what it's supposed to be. But he's trying to engineer that so he can and it seems like that Superman's getting in the way of his arms deal with Barovia or whatever. Barovia. But then actually it turns out he did all that just to have a pretext to kill Superman, and it's kind of like at that point you're going, hang on, this seems completely the wrong way around.
I'm all right with it because I think Lex is just diseased kind of rabid jealousy is always what motivates him against Superman, and also the kind of xenophobia. He's not spacism because he hates the alien. It's not quite racist. It's spacist. I don't know what to say. Like whatever it is, he's like because his always things kind of like he's a filthy fucking alien, and like I can make you better. Why don't you let me do it instead of this guy? Like, is always his kind of thing. But yeah, a lot of it is just him sort of shouting, and I wanted a bit more because like the Clancy Brown version, it's kind of like quietly scheming and not raising his voice that often, and it's kind of like,
he's much more staid and
present,
playing more of a long game, and also I think don't get me wrong, that character has much more room to breathe because obviously it spans 2-3 seasons of a show, but
and then the
Justice League exactly, so and then he ends up going down this really kind of existential crazy, like he puts himself in that suit, doesn't he, and he ends up being like kind of he creates that. There's that android. That's one of my favorite episodes of that show. That android that can just like take on, it's like tabula rasa or whatever. It can just take on whatever, and it ends up going into space and coming back with like all the knowledge of the galaxies, and it wants just to get Luthor because Luthor basically lied to him, and he can't understand why he was lied to or whatever it is. It's so good, and they have to hide him. The Atom hides him or something inside him.
Yeah, that's right. Like
shrinks him and hides him somewhere, but he still can't hide. It's so good. Anyway, but yeah, that stuff, I just think, I think that, you're going to get the people who rail against it who go like, this is silly, all this stuff is silly, bonkers, nonsense. And it's like, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Go watch Man of Steel if you want your grounded Superman who, because again, it's that I just don't know how many times I can see Superman throw another superhuman through a million buildings and just watch cascading glass and rock and and it's kind of, I think they thought they were being clever with it when they did BBS and which sounds like a Bovril or something, but when it opens with Bruce Wayne running through all the carnage and stuff, but it was to no end, like there was no real comeuppance from that.
I mean, and again, why try and ground Superman? I don't understand. And I was just in the mind earlier of people like Zack Snyder's kind of like going, wake up, it's not the real world. And it's like, no, it's not. It's Superman. Like, I don't know how to tell you. There are a million characters. Make a Punisher film if you want. Like, please don't do shit. But like,
the problem is, you're right. But I think the problem is as well is that when the closer you put Superman, you can put Superman in quote unquote real situations, i.e. ones that they're heightened, but the dilemmas are the same as real life. But or the quandaries are the same as real life. But as soon as you start dealing with real, like people, they couldn't put 9/11 really in the comics, could they? Or they couldn't put, like, World War II, they struggled with it because, well, technically Superman could end World War II. And I know there's stuff in, and I think that's the stuff in this that starts to skirt the edge for me, because I'm like, you're talking about Superman stopping a war, yet you don't really show it, and you don't, all that was like a very small area of land with two, not even armies, but groups of people walking at each other. And
they give themselves a narrative get out as well, don't they? Because again, I think the thing that it kind of comes up with is that, look, that your simplistic morality again doesn't apply to this complex situation, unless it turns out an evil man was doing an arms deal, in which case go shut it down. It doesn't matter. And it's like, okay, you've given yourself a bit of a back door there. That's a bit easy. Feels like it's still a complex situation. Famously, and you may or may not know this, but in very early Superman comics, there's a very sweet, if naive, episode where he goes and picks up Hitler by the scruff of his neck, and picks up Stalin by the scruff of his neck, and delivers him to the League of Nations, and goes, these bad men should go to jail. And then the League of Nations guys goes, I sentence you to jail. And it's, again, the simple morality applied to it.
Yeah. And that is, I mean, you can say something with it, but I think, you know, again, that feels a bit... it does have something to say in this film, but I think that's the stuff I'd probably lose if we were going to try and just even this out a bit more. I don't think you need all that stuff, and I don't like the whole crap with that. You know, I was waiting for that Prime Minister of Bravia or whatever at one point to just go ha ha and like take his mask off
quite
and be someone else.
Wasn't it? It was
insane.
I mean, it might as well have been, because then he went and was Lex Luthor's friends, so it might as well have been fucking Metallo or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I kind of really want to address, as I've said it a few times, it was very busy. It was quite messy. There was just a lot happening, and I just feel like I want wacky Silver Age Superman stuff. That's great, want it, but like there was a bit much happening, and it's very much lots of very long takes on a fisheye lens with like 1,000 extras. And it just made me feel a bit claustrophobic or maybe agoraphobic, I suppose, sometimes. It's kind of like, I just want to breathe a bit. I just want something a bit still. Because even when, like, probably like the best scene in the film is when he goes and speaks to his dad on the farm. But it did feel a bit like, yep, sad. I know, but come on, punching. You know what I mean? It's very quick, that whole bit.
And then it seems like what calls him back into action is that kid planting a Superman flag in the ground. I mean, okay, you know, he's lucky that the cameras were on that bit, although frankly it's a pretty small battlefield, so I guess
all 12 people with their spoons and pitchforks or whatever.
One guy was holding a breeze block. I noticed it. He was literally like going, and he was just holding a breeze block. I'm like,
that feels like one of those extras in Braveheart who has a watch on, doesn't it? It's like, did that guy just pick up a breeze block? Like, what the fuck? Where's art department?
Or cinder block, if you're
cinder block. It's our American
from America.
I think, and also I don't really know a lot about Mr. Terrific. I've seen him in a few animated things. This film made me like Mr. Terrific a lot. I loved this. I was like, is this a bit where he just goes like, she's like, how are you doing that? He's like, I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific. It's like, that's fucking great. And the bit about like, you know, use your circles. They're not circles. Circles are flat. They're spheres. They're three-dimensional. And then goes into the needle drop, the James Gunn needle drop, which was very similar to the start of Guardians 3 or Guardians 2, the fight. Like, you know, when she's inside the bubble and it all kind of swings around.
Oh, yeah.
Fun. Probably get fun.
Yeah, and always to some sort of wacky soundtrack. And obviously the credits are with that made up. The band he likes?
It's like, I love that that's basically the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, isn't it? It's like, it's a fake pop punk.
Some punk.
They're called like the Mighty Crab Feet or something. I can't remember.
That's right.
But then he's got the poster and it's really cute. And it's like, yay. You know, because I love the idea that Superman is into sort of crap music is perfect. It's great because he's like simultaneously the blandest yet most fascinatingly interesting person at the same time.
With that conversation with Park Kent, he says like it starts with a real like, so we were down at the whatever restaurant. The one with the burritos or whatever, and he's like, It's just felt like a really real conversation between like a son who'd just come home for the weekend.
And also they broadly imply that he's not been visiting much. There's a few sort of like, don't be a stranger, and like he hasn't been home much recently. And it's like, yeah, he's a young guy who moved to the big city. You know, I did that. I moved away and then didn't call my mum, you know, because I was off having fun. Like, so, you know, I like that. It felt that made that relationship feel very, very real and very.
And they do a lot with, not a lot with those characters because they're not in it very much at all. But I love that just throwing that thing in that Park Kent's like a total softie and he just starts crying. It's like, I love that.
Yeah, it's
just
lovely.
Endears you to him even more. You know?
I do want to watch it again. I do want to watch it again.
Yeah,
like it was a bit of a I came as well.
Yeah,
I find it hard to focus in an unair-conditioned room in fucking a heat wave.
Yeah, mine was very nicely air conditioned. This office is not. So I am sweating. But no, it was. I was going to say. Yeah, I came away from it thinking like, would I want to see that again? Could I be bothered? And then I think over the last few hours, I've gone. Yeah,
this chat has led me to watch it again. I wasn't that bothered until I talked to someone about it properly. So I was talking to my girlfriend about it. I was like, what did you think? Like, what what were the themes for you, and we chatted about it just to help me kind of chew it and just digest it a little bit. So she's the only person I really talked to about it.
There was, I don't know if it was, for me, it reminded me of it anyway, which is, the bit where she puts all the nanobots all over his face and they go in his eye and they go down his throat and his eye sort of turns cyborgy, and it had sort of echoes of Superman 3. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's like robot Vera type sort of, territory.
The best
and
Superman.
then, the best Superman. So where would you actually? I mean, this and that brings. Are there any other spoilers we should cover? Do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky that because, I think, Superman wins. Like they kind of Lex does his thing. Superman wins. Him and Lois are in love by the end. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to spoil. It's not hard to spoil because it's the nitty gritty and it's the kind of lore stuff that people are interested in. But once you've got into it and talked about it, I knew Superman was going to win and fall in love with Lois Lane, and that's fine. Yeah. I just want to see how these guys did that. So it's kind of hard to say, really. I don't really know. Nothing springs to mind. You always like and subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us what we missed.
Yeah. I love that. I did one thing I liked, and it's only a small thing, but again, we're going back to that conversation they have in the apartment with the eyeball outside the back, which now I've come to realize was quite an important part. But the bit where he goes he just nonchalantly goes, right, well, I'm going to go turn myself in.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? Why? And he's like, well, they'll probably try and lock me up. And she goes, yeah, they'll lock you up. And he goes, yeah, well, that's probably where they've locked up Krypto.
Yeah, he wants his dog back.
At least they'll get me to Krypto, and it's and it's all because he's he feels bad because he's got his cousin's dog and he's supposed to be looking after her dog.
Yeah, because exactly,
I love that.
He's responsible. Also, fucking Peacemaker was in it, which I love.
Yeah.
Peacemaker show.
Yeah.
Peacemaker show is so good, and the second season of that is one of the things I'm most excited about at the moment.
That's true. Gunn's doing that as well, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, when he did the first one, he's back doing that again. He's a very busy man.
What was I going to say? Oh, bollocks. Yeah. Oh, and there was a cameo from, is it Will Reeve, Christopher Reeve's son?
Yes, as a reporter.
In it, as a reporter, yeah.
That was quite nice.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I quite like it. I don't like his suit. I'll be honest.
No, I don't either.
I don't like the design. I like the colours, but I don't like the design.
Let's talk about that because we can and because content. I don't like the S.
No, because there's no explanation as to why it looks like that.
I don't like the way the suit looks armoured.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colours. I like the fact it's got pants. I think everything is in place. We could have done a lot worse. I like that it's poppy and very unashamedly comic. I'm not into the new 52, it's armoured thing. Not a fan. I think
the collar.
Yeah, just don't fuck with it. I honestly think there's so much to just not fuck with. It shouldn't be spandex, admittedly, but something more classic would have been nice. I tell you what it doesn't do. It's not ashamed to be a Superman suit, which is what a lot of them do. They're ashamed to be. It's not ashamed to be a Superman suit, and that's great. But yeah, I feel like we could just. This is the evergreen. This is the perennial discussion, isn't it? I did or didn't like the suit, and it will be to the end of time.
I like that it had the yellow S on the back and of the cape. That's nice that they put
I think everything's there. Everything's correct and present, isn't it? It's just a bit off. I'm not.
There's a bit too much design around the shoulders, and it just gets distracting when there's close-up dialogue scenes of them going. That doesn't. Sorry, I just put my mic. That doesn't work. All the stuff around his shot. It's just too busy. It's distracting.
Yes,
so I shouldn't be looking at that. I should be looking at.
At least it's not made out of basketballs again. I suppose, but it's.
Well, it is.
Is it though?
It's got that texture.
But I think it's more kind of clothy rather than plasticky.
It's not. I mean, I like that they haven't put all the muscles underneath it, and I like as well that there's no shirtless scene. We're not looking at big dude bro. It's just implied he's probably quite muscular. Let's leave it at that.
And also
don't need
Clark Kent is a kind of rumpled doofus. And he's very
Although he doesn't change. He does change. I mean, he does do.
But he doesn't do a change scene, does he?
I mean, he doesn't delineate that much between because there's only very few scenes where you see him sort of being Clark Kent with glasses on and stuff. The rest of the time, he's sort of Clark Kent on the Kent farm or privately, and it's kind of that's not.
Well, there's no phone box equivalent.
No,
which is weird.
and that's because he's got a fucking collar. Because you can't hide that under anything, can you?
All those fucking shoulder pads.
Well, exactly. How is he ever going to do that? Or like, he can't ever wear an open shirt.
I would take in this Superman universe that it lives in a fucking pocket dimension on his belt. Do you know what I mean? Because they've just gone so mental. Yeah. So give me the phone box. No one's ever gone to a phone box with curtains. But you know what I mean. Give me the phone box something. You know, like the one where
Superman the movie did away with that because it was just like I'm not changing in that, and that was, and now they don't have them, so it just wouldn't. But yeah,
he changes inside a mobile phone. Well, something because which one of the Chris Reeve ones he climbs through a car and comes out the other side of Superman, right? Is that not?
He does it twice. He does it once in 3,
the best
and he does it
film.
in 4. Yeah, in 3 he does it at the chemical factory thing,
and in 4 he does it in the second best Superman film.
The second best. He does it in the back of a limo, and but because it's an easy way to basically hide a stuntman in a
and someone comes out and, So I had that conversation. We were just like, oh yeah, he didn't do the thing, which is fine. Doesn't really matter. But
he just either. I mean, again, but that's because I think it's partly because they're just sort of dumping you in action a lot of the time.
Yes,
I don't think there's any situation where that would have naturally happened. I suppose.
Yeah, and it's not. It is far from a deal breaker in my eyes. But that's a bit of a shame. But I kind of hope when we get another one of these, they just make the costume a bit less shit.
I just get rid of the collar. I hate the collar. It doesn't add anything. It just looks, again, it's like you say, or anything armored or anything sort of functional. You go like, well, but I mean, even the belt is a bit daft, but I suppose it's holding his pants up. But apart from that, it's like, what's it for? What's any of it? I mean, like, my thing is like, I wish they would have an in-world explanation, which is because forever now it's always been, it's Kryptonian garb, and it's like, but it shouldn't be. It should be his mum made it for him, as in Mark Kent.
Which apparently, according to Mr. Sunday Movies and Mason, so I don't know for sure, but the line "my mum made it for me" originates in Lois and Clark's show.
Yeah, well, because there's that scene, isn't there, in the pilot where she's making him costumes. I thought
that would have come way earlier, but no, it's from the early 90s. Not the concept necessarily, but the line, because then they use it again in the TV show recently. But then it's in Superman Birthright, I think, one of the comic books. They use it, and I thought that was a way older thing than 1993. But there you go.
I've said this since Man of Steel came out, but I was always like, I was waiting for his costume to get destroyed in that fight, and for the end reveal to be that he had someone made him one. Whether it was Diane Lane or whatever, and it was like the humans made him a version of his thing that then looked exactly like and it looked silly. And there's been discussion about this. Some of the Corin Sweat and Gunn had discussions about the trunks, and apparently it was Corin Sweat. I mean, some of this I think is a bit like
there's a lot of this talk that sounds like marketing crap.
Gameplay, exactly. But it was like, it's his idea. He said like, but he would wear them because he's not afraid of looking silly, and he kind of wants to look silly because people are afraid of him, and it's disarming and that kind of thing. And it's like, I don't think his go-to would be put pants on the outside. Like, what does he put on his head then?
To be clear, I've always said he should just have the fucking trunks, man. It's Superman.
He should 100%. He's not Superman without them. He's because then it invites further question. Well, why is he wearing like knee-high boots?
Well, why do anything exactly? Like, do you know why he looks like that? Because he's based on a circus strongman because it was created in the 1930s. That's why. And either fucking have him wear nothing, have his cock flapping around, or just have him in like a pinstripe suit, like sitting around going like, wow, it's not realistic. No, this film has his fucking pet dog in it. Don't worry about it. Give him the pants for fuck's sake.
No, I agree. It's not Superman without the pants.
And in this tone, I'm surprised there's been a lot of James Gunn like, well, we weren't going to do it. And I'm like, why? The tone of this allows it completely. The tone, I don't like Zack Snyder's one, as I made very clear, but him not having the pants is part of the tedious tone they established, so it's fine. Like, the tedious pursuit of non-realism that can't exist in that story. But
we've said this a lot as well. I think this is a markedly more mature film than Man of Steel, because we've said this in the context of like the Fantastic Four film that's coming out as well. It's like it can be loud, like brash and bright and poppy and fun, and still be a mature and like we said, it's not, the allegory is thin on the ground, but there is a clear progression and arc, and something that you can tap into as a person of any age, any ethnicity, any whatever, because it's all about choosing to, letting go of things you think define you and learning to define yourself and that kind of
As
stuff.
I've said many times before, and this is how I largely view Man of Steel as an example, it's very easy to confuse being adult with being mature. They're two vastly different things. And like, there was a time in the 2000s where video games realized, oh, well, if we just put tits in it, that's mature. And it's like, well, no, it's not mature as it is adult. It's not the same thing. I think the film Up is an incredibly mature film. I think the film Up demonstrates boundless maturity compared to anything Zack Snyder's ever made. Like, and Up is about talking dogs and aimed at children, but it opens its film by very explicitly saying to children, death and grief exist, and that's what that might look like. And then it carries that theme through of someone trying to claim back their joy, right? That's the theme. That's the point of Up.
And it's called Up.
And it's called Up. If you put Superman in kind of dark scenarios where there's just violence and not really gore, but kind of death and stuff, that's not mature necessarily, it's adult. And
well, especially if the lesson learned by the end of it is it's all right to kill people.
If you got an adult and mature are not mutually exclusive, of course, but like I think they get very readily confused, and I think there's a lot of media, and it is what happened to comics. Like the 80s realized you could do mature storytelling, and people mistook that for guns and tits and blood. And like, I don't want to get us. Well, I won't get us. Oh God, am I allowed to say words because we get demonetized all the time? Jesus.
Well, you said the C word already.
Okay, fine. Well, fine. Like the 80s spawned people using rape and violence against women as a tool to shock because it was mature, and it's not mature necessarily. It's more adult. And especially because for loads of people who were writing those comics got drafted and they were all 19 and they were writing in kind of sexual assault storylines and stuff like that because it's mature, and it's not mature, it's adult. It's not the same thing. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Well, I agree, and this, I don't think, like I said, it's not without its problems. It's definitely not without its problems. But then, like Superman the movie is not without its problems. There's the cinematography which you don't like. I quite like it, but I don't. It's
from
fine.
the legend Jeffrey Unsworth, by the way, like one of the best ever living.
Yeah,
but I just don't like how that film looks. Just I'm just some schmuck.
But that film has moments in it that go on a bit too long, like kind of Otis going down. Oh, and by the way, there's an Otis in this film as well. New Otis, who's not an
and
idiot.
all of the extended Daily Planet, like Kat and Pete, like all the whole Daily Planet crew. I was like, yeah, neat, okay.
When he's freaking out when they have to evacuate the building. And
I love Pete Lombard as like a big Aggie doofus. Is just big fan of that.
And it's a shame. Do you know how I wish we'd seen more of his Wendell Pierce as Perry White, because he doesn't get much to do.
Do you know? Fuck, we've just stumbled upon a bunch of stuff I haven't talked about. Yeah, not enough Perry White for my liking. Like there was he's there, but like I hope he's more present in the sequels, because I do like when he's a bit of a kind of father figure to the Daily Planet people, particularly Lois and Clark. Like he was, he had a cigar. He did not say Great Caesar's Ghost. He did not say things about Elvis, which I like from Lois Clark. So maybe there's room for that. I don't know.
He's kind of the. I mean, I love Lawrence Fishburne. I just think that film pointed a camera at Lawrence Fishburne and didn't really say. I know characters addressed him as Perry. There were some good moments with him, especially in Man of Steel. But
for the tone of what that was trying to do, he brought the gravity. Like I totally, on paper, you're like, oh, Lawrence Fishburne is Perry White. Fuck yeah! But then in that movie,
it's kind of. I think there's those moments of like, you could if this was 1950, whatever, but it's not 1950, and there's all the sort of like, But again, that's a tell and don't show thing, isn't it? Perry White having a go at Clark Kent for thinking like a country bumpkin from 1950, whatever, when all you've shown is that he smashes things up and looks brooding.
He absolutely
and his
isn't
dad...
that, and he's a bit of a violent psychopath.
yeah, exactly. So it's like I don't, yeah, that's not happening. But yeah, Wendell Pierce is an actor I'm very fond of, and I've having watched him, I think he started in The Wire. That again is a series that eludes me, but I gather is very popular. But I saw him in Suits and in the Jack Ryan TV show. He's Greer in that. He's what James Earl Jones was in the Harrison Ford one. So he's brilliant. I'm a big fan of his, and I was so excited when they said he was Perry White, and then I'm like, not really.
Because everything is, they're going in hard on this everything tied together version. Maybe we'll get Perry White in a non-Superman related thing. He could be in Peacemaker for all we know. I feel like it's a casting that's been done with the view to use him elsewhere. Hopefully the second one of this, or whatever they do next for Superman, they'll give him more to do, because I like me some Perry White, and I was like, there's not enough Perry White. But then again, this is the problem. It's really fucking busy, this movie. There are so many characters in this fucking movie.
All I'll say though, I suppose that the not devil's advocate, but the counterpoint to that is that this world is there. It's both a negative and a positive in that, like, no, there isn't time to set everyone up, but if you're dropping everyone into it, you don't want to be wasting time talking about people's backstories or where they've come from. And it's like just throwing in jokes like the whole thing with Jimmy being irresistible to women for no apparent reason. And it's weird, and we all know, like, it's one of those fourth wall breaking things that just doesn't make sense. And the characters remark on it and stuff like that. It's kind of like, yeah. I mean, I kind of, that's where I go, do you know what? I like that, because I get to know them through their interactions rather than finding out.
And you don't need, it's just when there's so many fucking things happening and people running around, it's just I would rather more stuff had more time to breathe. Like, I don't know, it just that was my real feeling, was just like, fuck, there's a lot going on here.
I would cut one subplot out, which for me would probably be the warring fact, because I just don't.
I think something has to go. Tiny. Like, there's so much fucking stuff going on. Like, and again, liked it and stuff, but like, that was my first reaction was like, hey, what did you think? I was like, it was busy. Like, it was busy. It's funny. Did you watch the end credit scene and the mid credit scene?
Yeah.
They were cute. They were funny. I'm glad they were there.
Well, I like the sat on the moon. Again, I've seen people complain that, like, how can he sit on the moon when they said he can suffocate? And it's like, because they also say he can hold his breath for an hour.
Yeah, they put shit in his lung. Why are you
here?
What's the point in you?
And then the very end credit. I was trying to work out, is there something else to that scene other than just what it is with him and Mr. Terrific when he's saying, like, the buildings don't like
no, I think it's just, it is what it is, because I think it's because he's a perfectionist,
and that upsets him.
That's the
kind of, right, okay. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. He goes, I could be such a jerk.
Yes, and a lovely little bit of character as well, because he's he's being wholesome and Clark Kentish and not wringing a man's neck.
Wringing the last of his kind's neck, so that he is the only Kryptonian.
That was 13 years ago, you know that?
I know.
Madness.
It just reminds that all that's coming to mind now are all those angry bits, like where, like, Superman smashes into the ship, and Zod's trying to fly the ship, and he goes, Krypton, like, this is Krypton's last chance, and he goes like, Krypton had its chance, and just like laser eyes the entire internal part, and it's just like very angsty.
Well, he's just an angry nutcase. So that's the problem with that film. Like it's kind of like, well, gee whiz, like, they keep trying to do like he's wholesome, but it's like, but you keep portraying him, because when they made that shitbox Justice League film, like, the bit, like the bit where they've CGI'd out his tash when he's talking to the kids, Henry Cavill nails that performance. Like, when they get him to do the crowbar in, like, if you got him, I would love, Colin Sweat's great. He's our Superman now, and I'm good with that, and I'm keeping it. He's amazing. But if you put Henry Cavill in this script, he would crush it, I think. Like, he's a bit too old now, but I think he would crush it. I think he really handled the lightness when he was given it really well. It's just he was very often directed to be an angry nutcase, in my view.
I think he can handle lightness. I don't think he can handle comedy in the same way. I think the way you put him in comedic situations is very different to what you do with Colin Sweat. Like, Colin Sweat,
he could do the warmth.
Definitely. I think, but he's much more of a just by the let me preface this, just by the nature of how he looks, he's much more of a poser. Whereas Corin Sweat, it's all he's from he went to Juilliard, you know, he has that comedic stuff going on, and he's very like, you know, like when he's Krypto's nipping his heels and stuff like that. He knows how to handle those.
That's true.
Scenes,
That's very true. I have not accounted for that. You're correct. Yeah, I think because there's so much comedy in it, it's the warmth that Cavill can do. I'm not so sure about him doing.
I think, yeah, because Cavill can do that. Like comedy is what happens around Cavill. Like Cavill can't be comedic just because of how he looks. I think more than anything, I don't know if he could handle doing sort of slapstick comedy because I just don't think he would look right. If you know what I mean, like it's like there are comedic moments in those films. Often, well, the film thinks they're funny, but like the whole thing with Cyborg when they fall over and he's like, "I wish I was dead," or like,
yeah.
and it's kind of like.
Did you hear he started a room full of video games that you can pay money to play?
Who, Cavill?
It's called a cavalcade.
A room. I'm the dad here. I should be making the dad joke.
I'm so disappointed in myself.
That was rather good, though.
Right.
No,
I think, shall we...
Anyway,
this is
we've
fucking
rambled
bumper episode. Well, you're going to cut.
I didn't think it would be this long
right?
at all.
Carve it in two.
We'll carve it into. We'll do spoilers and non-spoilers. I think non-spoilers is about 20 minutes.
Superb, man. I'm very passionate about Superman. Yeah, fucking hell. Hour and 20. Look at that. Jeez, sorry. Yeah. Well, if you enjoyed that, everyone, please do like and subscribe. We're on Patreon as well. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about this. Yeah, good times. Duncan, anything else to say before we wrap up? You're good at knowing how to do the internet. I'm rubbish at it.
No, other than just to say thank you all for bearing with us. I think we've had a bit of another dry spell just because of timings of stuff. It's just, you know, it honestly isn't. You know,
I've been away for like 3 weeks, so
yeah. I mean, and I do try and stay abreast of things over on Patreon. So, like, if you guys want to go join up there, I think you can join for free and message us. I think so. If you want to go over there and just be part of that smaller community and have a chat, like we're trying to get the message boards going over there, and I do try and interact with that as and when I can. So, yeah, do head over there and you know, sign up for free, and then we're going to try. I don't know. I'm not because I'm going to be able to put words in your mouth, but I do think we are going to try and do more of it.
Yeah,
I
want to. Yeah.
More of a podcast, really. Maybe a commentary. I think people are asking for commentaries a lot. I think people kind of go like every time we post something, people go like, "They're back," and it's like, oh, like, I feel
very
like
much on us.
Gone that long.
Yeah, very much on us.
Yeah, we're just very busy.
I will try and do a stream
yeah,
as well. I know every weekend in August already, I'm fucking busy, and that's been the case for 3 months.
Yeah, well, I'm into like kids' party season now, so every weekend I'm at a kid's bloody birthday party. And we've got 3 weddings this year. And it's just
I'm getting married 3 times. I'm a Mormon now.
Well, if you get married, we've had a funeral.
There you go. Sweet. I'll sort that out by the end of the year. Don't worry.
4 weddings.
Well,
because I had 4 funerals and a wedding the other year.
Oh,
which I could have done without.
Yeah,
so
Richard Curtis did not write that.
He didn't. No, Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder did. Yeah, sounds like it. Well, look at this.
Anyway,
you know what this is?
Lens cap.
One of these.